Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about tarot and how you can read with them, how you can understand yourself better, your surrounding better, and your friends and family better, and how you can actually help yourself and other people. So if you want to learn more about that, then just stick around. Hello and welcome back. I'm Aysun, I'm 20, I'm studying in Scotland, I am from Germany, my parents are Turkish, I'm in London right now, but you don't need to know that right now. By the way, I am kind of sick, so if my voice sounds like I'm a man, I'm sorry. Maybe it's a good experience to have, I don't know. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. We're talking about tarot today. I'm reading, I think, since 2015. Yeah, my mom read tarot before I got into it, and then she stopped, and with me she started again. And to be honest, this video probably won't do that well because there are a lot of tarot videos out there, but many of my friends are starting to read tarot, and I was like, instead of just explaining everyone separately, which I can still do, I can just have an introduction video to tarot and the things that I've learned. Not because I'm a professional, just because I'm a person that reads tarot for quite a while now. 2015. 6 years. Yeah. So, yeah. I think I kinda can talk about it, and I love to read. So, yeah. This might help some beginner person that is trying to get into it, like many of my friends. Out of nowhere, just people got interested in it, so I might as well just roll with it, right? The first thing that you should do, obviously, is research what tarot deck you want. The classic tarot is the Rider-Waite tarot. That is the tarot that many people start with, and it is very reasonable because it has very crisp and very clear signs and symbols that you can learn. In my opinion, you should probably learn with a book, because that's what I did, and it helped me a lot to understand the basics of all of the signs that you have in tarot. I understand if you don't want to spend that money on that, but it is really, really helpful to understand the key components of tarot. At the beginning, you will probably be an amateur, but it is more of an amateur step to not fully understand all of the symbols that go with tarot, because tarot has a lot of biblical references, a lot of astrological references, numerological references, and it's completely fine if you're not into those things at first, but you should probably start reading up on them so you understand what tarot is really about. So yeah, I would suggest doing that, doing your research, understanding which deck you want and how you want to learn it. And then the first thing that you should do after you got your tarot deck and stuff is just to get to know the cards. So understand what they're on about. And this sounds, I know, very whimsical, but tarot is about energy, and it's about understanding what the cards are trying to tell you. So no matter how crazy that sounds, try to sleep with them, try to be really comfortable with them, and try to understand their feel and what they are trying to tell you. And if you just pick one card at a time, at any day, so one card a day, you will get to learn more, and you will probably understand that there are some cards that come up over and over again that is probably trying to tell you something, and that you will get some cards less. And that is completely fine, obviously. If you don't get tarot at the beginning, that is completely normal. If you're I don't know how to put everything into one spot, how to connect the dots, that is completely fine. So just roll with it. Everything's fine. No one is judging you. And if you feel comfortable, and if you have those people around you that won't judge you, which, bless my parents, I had that kind of surrounding, then try to read for others as well. Because you will see that it just feels different. No matter who you read for, it will feel completely different, because that person is different, has different vibes, has a different energy, has a different problem that they are trying to discover through tarot. And that is probably the reason why you will see different things and see cards that you never get, because that's just not your path. So it's very important to spend some time with your cards and to understand what they're on about, to understand what the differences are between the cards, and to just get the basics and to get familiar with it. Secondly, learn the theory, walk the walk, not only talk the talk. Everyone is like, tarot is pretty. And I will tell you now, it's not that easy. It ain't easy. Like, it really isn't. I'm reading for years now and it still is weird. Sometimes I don't get something in particular and I have to get another card or I have to take a break. Like, it ain't easy, and it has a lot of theory. The reason why I think I was able to learn it pretty quickly is because I sat on my ass and I had this deck and then I had the book, and every day I used to go through 7 different cards with the cards in my hand and with the book. So I would put the card in the book and I would be like, okay, what is this symbol? What is this symbol? What does that have to do with the Bible? Why are there 4 different elements? Why is there a major arcana and a minor arcana? How does this work? It's important to get the basics, to understand what all of these energies even have to do with any of this. And tarot cards and runes are called chiffres because that means that it has some kind of mystery behind it. And it's your obligation, kind of, as a tarot reader, to understand what the tarot card is trying to tell you in that specific moment. Tarot cards have 10 billion different meanings. It's about understanding what exactly is important in that situation and in that context. Talking about context, tip 3, try to tell a story. Try to explain to yourself, if you're reading for yourself, or to the other person if you're reading for someone else, what the story behind all of that is. Try to understand the different spreads that you have. It's very nice to read with the basic spreads at first, so like past, present, future, or like the Celtic cross. Those are the basics that you can start with, and it's just very important to convey a story and to understand the context. And some people want to be impressed, so they're like, oh my god, I didn't tell you that my dog died, how did you know that? And it's like, oh yeah, wow, I'm this special reader, whatever. But what I really want is to help you. And if you tell me things about yourself, I will be able to go deeper. If you tell me about your childhood trauma or whatever, that you had a car accident, then it will be much easier for me to go deeper, to pick cards especially for that occasion, to understand how I can help you. Tarot is a mirror, it's not a miracle. It's not a future telling of, oh my god, you will marry that person with 25. It's about really understanding what you're on about, how you can solve your problem, how you can solve your issues, and most of the time Tarot is telling you that you are the problem and that you have to change something about yourself. And if you see the future, it's only the future that is the most likely with the steps that you're making and taking at the moment. It's not telling you that this is set into stone. We can change all the time. Even in palmistry, hands change. You can change and you can develop, and it's about understanding how you can put all of that into one context and one story when you read. The 4th thing is there are many outlooks and interpretations for tarot, and you are learning all of those basic rules to later break them and understand that you can read whatever you feel like is the most accurate. It's about understanding the keys and the secret of the card. What is the card trying to tell you? Every time you read tarot, it's like reading it from a new perspective. If you constantly tell everyone the same stuff, or if you see a card and you're like, Tower, destruction, catastrophe, you're not really feeling it. You're just learning or saying what the book is telling you, which is completely fine at the beginning, but you will get to see that those readings are not the most accurate just because you're not going with the flow and you're not feeling it, but you're just sticking to the book. Everyone is learning in a different manner, but for me it's very important to know the book so well that I can just look into the book and then close it and then get it out of my head and just focus on what I feel the most. Fifth tip for beginners is be very careful and mindful of projections, because you will probably project yourself into other people and into the thing that you want to see instead of just the thing that it's really telling you. Especially with the people that you're the closest with, or with yourself, it can be very hard to read accurately. I would say I have that the most with my sister. When I'm reading with my sister, sometimes I say something and then I'm like, maybe those were my thoughts and not the things that the tarot is trying to convey. So really be mindful of the opinions that you have, especially on other people or on your life, and then try to separate that. I know it's very hard, but try to separate that from your tarot and your interpretation. Sometimes these things go hand in hand. Maybe you told your friend that you think he's cheating on her, and then the cards give you like the devil and then the 7 of swords and the 10 of swords, and just maybe I was right, but try to not put yourself too much into it and just go with the flow of the cards and not, with your own perception. One thing that I've just learned through trial and error is have your own rules when it comes to tarot. If you don't want people to touch your cards, don't let them touch your cards. For one of my friends, that's very important to her. For me, it's not that important. For me, it's very important that before people mix the cards, I mix them and I cut the cards first. It's okay if they had it in their hands before, but they cannot just mix it and then put it out on their own and stuff. I don't like that at all. It makes me aggressive. But for one of my friends, she doesn't like if people that don't know about tarot touch her tarots. Understandable. It takes the energy of someone else. Other people cleanse their tarot pretty regularly. I should probably do that. I'm not. So yeah, you just have to have your own rules. I don't like to read. I sometimes still do it, but I don't really like reading tarot for people that don't really believe in it, because I often have the feeling of they're trying to test you, they're trying to see how things are going, and if you will tell them you have 2 children and they will be like, oh my god, where do you know that from? I didn't believe in that first, but now I believe in it through you. Like, you don't have to pump my ego. I don't need to pump my ego. I really don't like it when people are trying to test me, because I can feel that while I'm reading and it's really uncomfortable. So I really don't like it. Have your own rules. Have the things that you tolerate and that you don't fuck with, and that's fine. Just go with it and communicate that to other people as well, and let them respect your boundaries. 7th tip, by the way, I love doing these things until 7 because 7 is the best number. 7th tip is, it's okay if you fail. You will probably fail. I'm really sorry to tell you, but it is what it is. It's just, I've learned through trial and error, and every time that you get used to a new tarot, you might buy another one and that feels weird, or you don't like it, or you have to learn new cards for it, and that's completely fine as well. Like, you will get your way into it. Don't worry about it. At the beginning it's quite unknown and quite strange to get into it, but at the end you just know how to do it, and you know what they're trying to convey you. And the more you learn, the more you understand that it's not about theory. You just let go of the theory. You can be more free, but the theory is very important as a base, as the fundamental base of your experience, so you can always come back to it if you need any information. If I forgot some of the basics, which I probably have, then I know where to find the information, and I know what it could mean, and I can Google it, but if you don't know about it, you cannot do that. So the most important thing that I would say is get to know the cards. Why are you trying to do this in the first place? Why do you want to learn tarot? And if you really do want to learn it, then do it properly. Learn it from the beginning, learn to understand what the basics are, what the theory behind it is, and understand all of the mystical things that it carries with it. Tarot is a ritual that is very sacred, actually, and I know it's very basic at the moment, and that's completely fine. I love that it's more accessible to everyone, and it shouldn't be something that is a closed cult or whatever. It's very nice that it's accessible, but try to learn what it's really about and try to understand it, like properly understand it, because at some point you don't read the cards. It's like reading a book. You don't see the words and the letters at some point. You just get sucked in, and that's exactly how tarot feels like if you get the gist. So you just get sucked in and you know what to say. It's actually magical and it's very enchanting. And I hope everyone can have that kind of experience. So these are my tips for tarot. If you have any other questions, just pop them down below. Let me know. If you need any other advice, let me know as well. If you want a follow-up, if you're struggling with tarot, just let me know. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, and have an amazing day.